Hi, I'm Wanda with Jimmy Branch Homestead, and today I have harvested a lot of peppers from the garden, and I'm going to be preserving these for long-term use, and I'm going to do that by freeze drying. If I fill up my trays, then I may also be freezing some. So first of all, and I've already started, but we need to remove any bad spots from any of the produce. A lot of times I have wonderful produce, but once in a while I get a bad spot in them before I get them out of the garden. That's why a lot of times I'll want to pick from the garden right before they're 100% the color they're supposed to be. Because it seems like if I wait until they are 100% color, ripe, like this one's almost 100%, that's when it had got a bad spot in it. I don't know what does that, but we're going to take care of that anyway. So remove any bad spots. Make sure they're nice and clean. And then I cut them, the tops off like this, just because it's so fast. Then I cut the core out by just going all the way just inside the outer edge. It's just the fastest way for me that I have found to clean peppers. Then pull any more of the membranes or seeds out. And have a nice clean pepper. Then I like to cut the bottoms off, and that's because I'm cutting them in this manner because I am going to dice these up in a handy dandy tool that I have, which I'll show you in a moment. Then I like to cut into flat sides. Gonna go ahead and cut the stuff out that I missed. And then I've cut the rest in sections. And it's that fast and easy. At least peppers goes pretty quickly. And I don't know why, but this year I had a lot of distorted shapes. Okay, so this one has a few bad, small bad spots. But we still want to get those out. Oh, this one has quite a few, but they're all small. I think sometimes too, when the weather is just super hot and humid, it seems like I have more problems then with bad spots. Okay. Yeah, because this one was so strange shaped, it didn't come out as clean, the insides. I need fairly flat pieces for my dicer that I'm going to use. This one, the little black stem's hard to get out because this thing was so misshaped. There we go. Got it. Okay, I'm going to continue washing these and I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, so I have finished cutting up all of the bell peppers into pieces, and then I'm going to put them in this handy dandy tool. I just love it. It's got a dicer in there and and then it drops in the bottom. So one of the best investments I ever made. And they just fall in the bottom. Okay, so I have my container chock full. And I just have the paper that you can get online for lining my trays. Parchment paper. And these are pre-cut to the size of the trays. So you can order these on several websites, Amazon, Retired at 40 site, I can't remember what his site's called. Also Harvest Right site. So then I just want to spread these in my tray. And I've done this for several years now. Most of it I have done for short-term storage in canning jars on my pantry shelf. This year I want to do it for long-term storage. Unfortunately, we won't be able to garden forever, so I want to kind of put plenty of stuff away for when that's no longer possible as well. So one of these full pretty much does one tray. And it really dices them up really nice. Pretty quick and easy. Okay, so these are the freezer lids that I have. I did get these from Retired at 40's website. Oh, freezedryingsupplies.com. But I have recently purchased a set from Harvest Right. They came out with them now. And I found them in a store. So check those. I think they're a lot cheaper than these, and they work really well too. This way I can just snap the lid on, and it does snap on, and put it in the freezer, and then when I get another tray full, I just stack it right on top of this. These corners are designed to hold the trays in place, and that way when I have a whole set, I can freeze dry them. And so I like to pre-freeze my stuff, so I'm going to put this all in the freezer and get them froze. I'm going to go ahead and chop up the rest and fill the other trays, and then I'll be back with you for the next steps. Well, I ended up with 3 freeze dryer trays full. It takes 4 for a load. So I will hang on to this video until my next picking, which should only be in a day or two, so that I can finish this video all in one sitting. Okay, so all of my bell peppers are frozen really well now. So I'm going to start getting the freeze dryer ready for them to go into. So first off, I need to check the bucket, the drain bucket that the drain valve drains into. It is dry. This is a very important step because if you forget to empty it when your produce is done or whatever you're freeze drying, and you open the valve, it will suck that water back up into your produce or whatever you're freeze drying and ruin it. So, step one, check the bucket. Okay, next I'm going to turn the unit on, and the button is in the back. It does take for a moment for it to come up. It's like a little computer in here, so right now it says harvest right, loading. Okay, so then it comes up with customize and start because I have the older model. I'm going to hit start and it gives me choices of pre-frozen or not frozen. Again, this is because it's an older model and I have not upgraded it. So I am going to select pre-frozen. So now it's going to pre-freeze down to 32 degrees. Currently it's 78 degrees in here. So we need to get the freeze dryer freezing before I can put my frozen produce in there, otherwise it will thaw out. Okay, so at this point I'm going to go ahead and close the drain valve. It's not required until you load the food and then close it, but I always just like to make sure and do it now. That is located on the left side of the freeze dryer. Sometimes it's a little hard to turn. Okay, so this step takes about half an hour for it to get ready for me to put the frozen food into. So we're going to go ahead and let it do its thing, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so the freeze dryer is pre-frozen now. I mean, it's cold enough for the produce and it's ready to load. This is the bell peppers that I had previously diced and put in the freezer to freeze. So I just take the lids off now. I just love the various colors here. Okay, I'll meet you in the freezer room. Okay, so the message on the unit now says load food into freeze dryer and close the drain valve. Remember, I previously already closed the drain valve.
Sure makes some pretty colors.
Yeah, it does have pretty colors. Oops, there we go. My husband was helping carry the trays in for me. Okay, so at this point we just close it up. Remember, we already closed the drain valve, so we're going to hit continue. Now at this point, it's going to continue freezing, but dropping below zero. Right now it's 14 degrees inside the unit. So as we go through the different phases, I'll bring you back and share it with you. Just a quick comment that we are now down to -2 degrees Fahrenheit. So we'll keep in touch. Okay, the freeze dryer has been going now for 2 hours and has entered the first drying mode. So typically this can take, I don't know, 10 to 12 hours. And then it goes into a second drying mode where it has a bar and then like a final dry. So I'll kind of check back with you. Okay, so it has been right at 24 hours that the freeze dryer has been running. 24 hours and 23 minutes. And it actually said that it was done a couple hours ago, but I was in the middle of some other things, so I just extended the final dry time with these arrows that you can go up and down. So I'm going to go ahead and just take it back down now that I'm ready and able to take care of it. Okay, so now it just says process is complete. I need to open the drain valve over here on the left. Again, it's real important to make sure you don't have any water in your bucket, or it will suck that water right back into this food and ruin the whole batch. Okay, so at this point I have a moisture meter, and this is the one I use. Don't see where it has a name on it, name brand on it, but it has a couple prongs up here, and that's where you put it in the food to make sure it's dry. So I'm just going to turn that on. Not sure if you can see it, I think you can, that it shows 0. And these are super light and fluffy now, so they'll fly around. Yeah, those are fun. Ooh, and the trays are warm, almost hot. Yep. It's good. Yep. Okay, everything's good and dry. So I'm going to turn this off. So at this point we have to work pretty quickly. You don't want any moisture coming back into the product. So I'm going to take it out one tray at a time, and I'll meet you in the kitchen and show you how we're going to package it. Okay, so today I'm going to package for long-term use. In the past I have prepared several jars that are vacuum sealed and on my pantry shelf, and these will last 2 or 3 to maybe 4 years easy. So these were from last year. I still have plenty left. That's why I want to go ahead and package my current bell peppers for long-term use. So using this method, it will preserve these peppers for up to 25 years. So I'm going to package them in Mylar bags. We're going to work very quickly. Let's see, I'm trying to get the best angle where you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I think that'll do it. Okay, so first of all, I have a little stand holder here. You can buy others with a large funnel and that kind of thing, but I find for one person filling it, it's kind of a hassle. Uh-oh, I'm going to make a mess again. Get these all over. And I'm hoping that one tray will fit in one bag, but we'll kind of see here. Typically one tray fills about 1 quart jar. I have the medium freeze dryer. If you have a large freeze dryer, it would probably fill a little more. Plus I have an older model, so I only have 4 trays in my freeze dryer. You can get the upgrade to upgrade it to 5, but sometimes I have a hard time getting like products ready to freeze dry and coming up with that many trays. So I'm kind of sticking with the 4 for right now. I may at some point upgrade, but not at this time. Oops. And this little bag holder I just got, I can't remember, at the grocery store or Walmart. Yeah, not the best. It's easier with two people, so you have one person to hold it, and then you can actually put like a canning funnel in the end and just kind of pour them in. But my husband is busy outside. I hurt my back a week ago, and he's been handling all of the outside chores. So I thank him very much for that, but I'm anxious to get back out there. Every time I think I'm doing a lot better, then I have a bad night or day again. Probably from overdoing. The other day I decided to clean out both refrigerators since I was stuck in the house, and I paid for it for 2 days I was down. It's just hard when you have a homestead, and or if you're just an active person and, you know, trying to stay down long enough to heal. Okay, this is going to fit perfectly in here and still give me room to put loops to seal it. I'm going to stand these in the back here for right now, because when I open these oxygen absorbers, I need to put them in the bags and seal them up quickly. So I'm going to set up another bag. Okay, so I have my Harvest Right sealer plugged in and warming up. And then these are my 300 cc oxygen absorbers that I will be putting in these bags. These are the medium bags from Harvest Right. These are an 8 by 12 size. And I find that they're very useful for a lot of things. They hold a full tray of most things, and yet still have plenty of room to seal. So at this point, again, I have to work very quickly. Let me grab my scissors. This red indicator on the package means that they're new and they are good for use. When it turns purple, when I open the package, then it doesn't really last very long. You can reseal these using this Harvest Right sealer on a lower setting of 5 for the plastic bags. So I'm going to quickly open them. Boy, they put that seal down low on this one. And throw one in each bag. And quickly reseal it. And it already turned purple. Not dark purple, but so it did get some air to it. Okay, at this point I need to turn the sealer to 7 for the Mylar bags. Oh, that one got 2 in it by mistake. That's all right. And you can kind of hear when it's done sealing. So you can't see it so much here, but you can see it on the back. There are some little notches here. This is a tear off, so I always want to make sure and seal the first time as far up as I can. When I use it, I'm going to tear the seal off and pour it into a quart jar for medium term loose. Each time I use any, either out of the bag or out of the jar, I want to immediately reseal them. And for the jar, I use this little mini vacuum sealer that just fits on the jar. And then you put the lid on and you just turn it on and it sucks it out. I've already sucked it out of this one, so it is sealed. Again, in the jars, it will last at least up to 3 years. In the bags with oxygen absorbers, up to 25 years. Okay, let's quickly get these sealed. I can kind of hear the little motor. That lets me know when it's done. It's real light, so you won't be able to hear it on video. Double check all the seals. Make sure I didn't miss any. Okay, we are good to go. So I can unplug them. Of course, you can dehydrate bell peppers and use them. Those would last up to, a medium term, maybe a year to 2 years, depending on how they're packaged. But it does not get 100% of the moisture out like freeze drying does. These packages are super light and fluffy. If I was to stir them on the tray, they'd kind of like try to fly, or static cling can really make them just fly around. One thing I forgot to mention is it typically is easier. I try to mark these packages prior to filling them. These are flat enough that they're not too bad to write on. But depending on what I'm putting in the bags, it could be kind of tricky to do that, especially if I vacuum seal the bags. So these are sealed. They are not vacuum sealed. There is air in the bags. That's why you put the oxygen absorber in it. When you vacuum seal them, you can put an oxygen absorber in the jar. But again, the light and stuff, you want to keep these in a cool, dry, dark place preferably, and they'll last the longest. So if you're enjoying this type of video, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and share our videos on your social media. It's the best way you can help our family's channel to grow. Thank you so much for watching Jimmy Branch Homestead. God bless and take care.